What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another Final Fantasy Brave Exvius banner review, and I've tried to record this video 3 times now. Yay! I've gotten almost all the way through it every time, but then I noticed my microphone is doing something very weird. It's tending to clip really hard, so you hear like a sound at the end when I stop talking, and then it also just mutes out what I'm saying altogether. But I don't have any more time, guys. I gotta get to the gym. I gotta be getting these other videos out. So I'm so sorry if it does clip. It's the best I can do. If it's unwatchable to you, I'm sorry. I'll do my best to fix the mic setup for next video, all right? Let's go ahead and move on to the actual banner. It's Yuna, Lulu, Seymour, and Wakka. Final Fantasy X, my favorite Final Fantasy, and my girl Yuna is here, and I'm super excited. I do like Lulu too. And we're going to go over Seymour, Lulu, and Yuna. Wakka just isn't that great of a character, and even being upgraded to 6-star, I really don't see him as being much to talk about. Not really like Seymour as much to talk about either. We're moving on to Seymour. He's this big black mage, big baddie in Final Fantasy X. I love to hate him, but I still hate him. Fuck you, Seymour. He has Yevon's wisdom. Praise be to Yevon. As his TMR, it's a materia, increase HP and MP 15%, increase Evo magic by 10%. I know in my FFBE official video review thing that I said that was something completely different. That's because the way they worded it was weird. But if they could have just wrote this, I would have been like, oh, okay, that only, you know, it's for the summoners and doing more summon damage. But that's pretty much what it does, and I do like it a lot. The TMR is actually pretty good. It's a heavy upgrade to the Evo match 10% so we can craft, giving us HP and MP 15%. Pretty nice. Moving on down to what Seymour can actually do. Absolutely nothing. I'm serious. He sucks. He has dual black magic cast. He has an ability that puts up his magic by 100%, but decreases his defense by 50%. But we're already maxing out our stats at 100% anyway with a Bard or the Dancer Soleil most of the time, or even Noctis. Magic 4 times to one enemy, costing 50% of his HP. That's not good. Dark magic damage 2.5 times, decreases dark resist by 50%, so he does have a dark imperil if you need it. He has 50% Evo magic, giving him the ability to summon and do a little bit of damage, but again, there are better options out there. Garnet is one that rings a bell, then he does have some other stats. And then as you can see here, he has all the Aga spells, and they're one cast doing 1.8 times to all enemies. That's it. This unit isn't even as good as X-Death in my opinion. Why did you make this unit like this? And then moving down to Requiem, we have magic 7.4 times to all enemies. That's a pretty good modifier, but it only gets once. Increased magic damage against undead monsters, 100% for 3 turns the caster. I guess if you want to be throwing them August spells at zombies, you're going to be able to do it with Seymour. Overall, I give Seymour 2 thumbs down. The TMR's, you know, pretty decent, but him as a unit, bleh, we don't want him. Moving on, you're going to need him for King Mog, I guess, for the King Mog event. We're going on to Lulu. Now, you can't let me down with Lulu, right? Squeenix, you can't do her wrong. Let's look on her TMR. She is a black mage, obviously. 5-star to 6-star. There are 2 5-star bases on this banner. Weapon, Rod. Attack 21, Magic 120, and MP 20% with Auto Faith. Auto buffs magic by 20%. Yeah, it's not like we buff our stats all the way beyond that, so this is completely useless. At least I think it is, unless there's some weird thing I'm missing here. Overall, this is a mid-tier TMR. We have other stats that you guys have rods, excuse me, that you guys probably already have that have more magic than this. I guess this does provide 20% MP. But I'm going to go and skip out on this one and say this one's not that great. Unless you just want the cute little Onion Knight, little doll that you can have in your collection, which I might do that. Maybe. Moving on down to Lulu as a character. How good is she? Well, she can equip whips, which is pretty cool. But not that good. She has focus. It's not like I was casting that ability back in the day when the first trial came out. Great job with that one. Dual black magic cast, you can use it twice. I'm just a little salty that the Final Fantasy X, you know, the second banner units are not that good. Increased resistance to silence 100%. Increased resistance to confuse 100%. Recover MP 5% per turn. We want that. You know, give your any kind of magic buffs up. We like that. Increased fire resist 30%. Okay. We want, you know, fire resist is good. Increase MP, increase magic 40% with equip with a rod. So we're obviously going to put a rod on her in most cases. So we're going to have 70% worth of buffs to our magic stat. So then we only need to cover the 230% to hit the 300% max. And this is an ability she has, Standby Water. She has a 20% chance to counter physical attacks and a 20% chance to counter magical attacks with an ability that decreases the water resist of the opponent by 100% for 3 turns. Now, the problem, again, you guys know I have with this, but maybe you guys don't, but I personally don't want my black mage getting smacked in the face with any kind of attack when I have great AoE cover abilities to save them. So I don't really see me using this a lot. And it's kind of important to her kit, as we'll look down below. She does have some Aga spells in Thundaga and Waterga. And then she has Flare, which is fire magic 2.3 times to one enemy, decrease water resist 30%. This ability is bad. But she has the Ja spell. So she has Water Ja, Thunder Ja, Fire Ja, and Blizzard Ja. Yeah, I think I got it right. So you can see here that, like, she does have these. These are the consecutive uses. You use them over and over again. They build up, do big damage, and she does have the ability to cast them each twice in a turn, so she can build that up pretty quick. And she covers a lot of different elements. So that's where I think I see her shine. But then they gave her this ability called Flood. Water magic damage 2.5 times to all enemies. Decrease lightning resist 50% for 3 turns to all enemies. Now, I understand. You know, I don't want to be soaking wet and then get shocked. And then, Pikachu! Like, get shocked the hell out of and I'm wet and it, like, hurts me more. I get that. But in my game, I want my elements to match up. I'm doing light damage, please light imperil. I'm doing earth damage, do some earth imperiling. This is completely not good. It's their chaining move, hits 12 times. We were all hoping there'd be some kind of buff to Lulu and Global, and it looks like they left her out in the rain, lol, flood, and they didn't really give her much of anything to do with. I mean, she can cover these elements in the Jaw spells if you need her to, so that's where I think I see her shine, maybe finishing with those spells against somebody like, you know, how the 3-star Ifrit is 100% imperiled to ice. You could take her in there and just be casting this and doing some damage. We'll look at her Limit Burst Ultima Fury. Magic damage 5.7 times with Ignore Spirit 50%, doubles that to 11.4 to all enemies, and it's a 20 cost one, so not that bad. Big hitting one, but elementless. So overall, Lulu, I'm sorry. I have to give you like a 7.5. 7 maybe. I know my ratings have been all over the place, but she's mid-tier, guys. She's a mid-tier black magic caster. She really... I think the Aja spells, obviously, are her where you're going to be wanting to use her if you do. And sadly, I don't like the Cactuar. I want her to have the Moogle still, but as soon as you get her to 6-star, goodbye, Moogle. Shoot. All right, moving on to Yuna. You can save us, Yuna, right? You can save us. You can save this banner, Yuna. While she does for me, because I love Yuna the most, she really doesn't for the average player who isn't in love with Final Fantasy X. Looking at her Trust Mastery, it's Nirvana. It is a staff, attack 19, magic 68, spirit 116, and auto limit. And that auto limit is going to put up your limit burst gauge by 1 at the end of every turn. So, you know, when you end your turn, it should go up by 1. Now, this is very important because it's giving you a ton of spirit with a little bit of magic and giving that auto limit. Who do we want to be casting limit burst on? We want to use CG Fina, Ayaka. These are all units who would love to have this Nirvana, have that massive spirit, and the ability to be, you know, clocking out the limit burst a little bit faster. So very, very good TMR for your healers. I think it's going to start becoming best in slot for a lot of them because of the auto limit there. So very good TMR. Now let's talk about Yuna as a whole. She's bringing something entirely new to the game. It's Evoke Damage, okay? Evoke Damage, and instead of MP, it's going to be costing Evoke Gauge. So it's going to be 3 Evoke Gauge. You know how you fill up your Evocation Gauge? It's going to take away, like, that's going to be like her MP pool. She has 2 different abilities, Energy Ray and Energy Blast. They both do a little bit more. Energy Blast obviously does more, costs 2 more Evo Gauge. And you're not going to really have a problem in casting these because as compared to casting a... you know, a normal Esper, because, you know, it's not that much there. It does do less damage than a normal Esper summon. The Evoke damage is calculated by taking your Spirit and your Magic. You're taking half of those stats, so it's a hybrid of hitting ability. And then taking into account... okay, so let me try to explain this. I'm going to try to do the best I can on this. It is fixed damage, so your killers will not be applied. Your element won't be applied that you have on your weapon. It is not going to be hit against their defense or their spirit or mitigation at all. It's just going to hit for what you can hit for it, so it's going to take your magic, your spirit, half them, and do some damage. I'm going to go ahead and link in the description a good Reddit post from someone who kind of goes in more detail showing you the math behind it if you would like to look into that. But pretty much your magic and spirit are going to be what's going on here. So she's going to be able to use that and do some good damage. It's not as much as summoning an Esper would do in most cases, but it is going to be able to do some damage, and it's going to be fun to play around with. Looking at her prayer to the Aeons, using that word Aeons, increase Evocation Gauge 2 to 4, increase Magic and Spirit 100% for 3 turns to caster. Now again, that would have been great if we didn't already, most of us have a way to do that every turn anyway, but increase the Evocation Gauge, we want that. You can see in my, anytime you guys got to summon an Esper, you want that on somebody to be able to build it up, and then if you have to end it with an Esper, you know, having somebody that has a bunch of Evo magic will be awesome. Auto Refresh is good. Increase resist to all elements by 20%, so she's going to have a little bit of a head start on most bosses if they're going to be doing damage to her. Increase magic damage against undead monsters, but I do not think this applies to her evoke damage. So she's going to have to be doing some other type of damage, I think, in order to get this to proc. I do not think it applies to evoke damage. If it does, please let me know in the comments below. I'll pin up your post. Increase resistance to paralyze and confuse. Both of them I have a hard time with, so glad to have that. Increase MP and magic by 30%. And then increase Evo Mag by 50%. So she's already up to 50%, which is nice. Enable evocation of any Esper in your party, so she can summon anybody's Esper, which means that, you know how sometimes you'd be worried who you're going to put the Esper on, blah, 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 and you have to put it on your tank and then summon the Evo with your tank. She's going to be able to just use it anytime. And then Braska's daughter. Increase equipped Esper attack, defense, magic, and spirit by 50%. So similar to the way I thought Seymour's TMR was going to work, this is going to buff up your Esper, so when they are summoned, they end up doing more damage because it is based off of their stats when you do summon them. So that's going to give them a little bit of more of a kick. We can see that she has Asuna and Kuraga, so she's going to be able to do a lot of white magic things. She has Raise, and then she has Re-Raise, guys, which is huge and phenomenal. If you guys can slap a dual cast on her, she can start casting that Re-Raise on 2 different people and start getting people ready to, if they die, they come back to life. This is very important, one of the strongest abilities in Final Fantasy Brave Exvius, in my opinion, so it's really good for her to have that. And that's not all. If we have the dual cast on her also, she's going to be able to increase her Ice, Fire, Water, or Thunder resist by 70% for 3 turns. So, if, you know, she's also kind of like our green mage as long as it's in the realm of what that is. So, yeah, so overall, let's look at the limit burst before I give my overall thoughts on it. Heal 2,500 HP 18 times to all allies. Huge heal. Revive all KO'd allies to 74% HP. Very nice if anybody's dead. Heal 3,000 HP 14.4 times split over 3 turns to all allies. That is a huge heal to be putting on everybody. So far the limit burst is turning out to be pretty awesome. And then it's going to increase our defense and spirit 124% for 3 turns to all allies. And that's more than a lot of the bards can do right now. But we can see that our cost is 30, and in most cases, we kind of want our summoner to be able to put in our summoning gauge really quick. You know, like Garnet has the ability where fill your summoning gauge if you get our limit burst. However, again, Yuna is filling that role of more so of the white mage here, I do believe, over Garnet, and doing a little bit of damage. So I think it's a phenomenal limit burst. If I were going to use her a lot, again, key a lot, you don't want to put you know, limit burst pots into somebody you're not going to use a lot. I would definitely level up this limit burst. Overall, Yuna's a pretty cool character. She has the whole evoke damage, evoke magic that we are not used to seeing. She has the ability to, you know, do green magic, and she has the ability to be a white mage. I think she's very good as a support unit in the game. I'm going to give her an 8 or an 8.5 out of 10, somewhere in there range. She's not phenomenal. She's not like a must-have, but if you get her, she's going to have a lot of value in doing that, especially if you're fighting something where you need to be able to buff these up, because she's going to be able to do a lot of different stuff while being able to do that too if you slap a dual cast on her. So, overall, is this banner worth summoning on? No! The only TMR you're looking for on here, I think, is Yuna's. The only unit you're going to see a lot of use out of is Yuna, and then that's also not like stellar or anything like that. With the Tidus banner should still be going on. I'm unsure if Lotus Mage Fina is, though. That might be done when Yuna comes out. But if it is, you want to be summoning on these 2 banners. These 2, like Tidus top damage dealer in the game. Chainer if you have true double hand on him. And then very high up there if you do dual wield. Riku being a top support there with the Riku's pouch. And then obviously Lotus Mage Fina, CG Fina being the best healer in the game. This is what you're going to summon on. I'm so sorry. Free to play. Dolphins, whales, unless you love Yuna and Lulu in Final Fantasy X, you're going to be stuck to doing dailies or just trying to get some things for King Mog so you can get up your King Mog things. There is a King Mog event with this. So, this is my 3rd time recording this. I hope it didn't sound terrible. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below how you feel on this banner, and if I was a little too harsh on it, I was trying not to be biased since I love Final Fantasy X. I am going to be summoning tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to join me, I'm going for both of them because I want both of them in my collection because I love Final Fantasy X. And then subscribe for future content. We'll catch you guys in the next video.